I think Arnold Palmer grew into the role as Orlando's first ambassador. When he came to live here, he got people's attention. But as Orlando started to grow, Mr. P took a more active role.
Arnold Palmer realized if Orlando wanted to be a world-class city, the city needed world-class health care to help families like the Roberts.
I was making dinner. I was making hamburger helper, and it's something that I will never make again.
When he looked at me, you know, you could just see that he's like, you know, terrorized.
I heard the most horrendous sound I've ever heard in my entire life, and that was my husband's scream. Sorry.
It almost, you know, tears apart a family because there's always a lot of guilt.
I think he's probably the most resilient patient I've ever met.
It's amazing the life lessons you can learn from a 7-year-old.
No matter what, don't give up. That's what Brad Roberts learned from his son. Brad is an Orange County Sheriff's deputy, but nothing on the job prepared him for what happened in his backyard.
I have seen a lot of things in my almost 20 years that people shouldn't see, but it is a different thing when it's yours, when it's your child laying there looking at you like, you know, help me.
Brad Roberts didn't have time to think about what he'd just done. He had to move to save his son.
And I just scooped him up in one motion and just started running towards the house.
I just ran outside and saw him carrying our son across the backyard, and with just blood all over both of them.
Kim Roberts didn't know what happened, but she knew it had something to do with a riding mower.
And I knew that the lawnmower had stopped, so I was like, God, what did he hit?
I was screaming at him, do not close your eyes, do not go to sleep.
He brought him in the house, and we did everything we could to keep him awake and alive until the paramedics could get here, because we knew that that time was against us. There were things that the 911 operator was asking me to do, and when you go out into the backyard and you see your son's fingers laying on the ground.
Before the accident, Jacob was a happy little boy, easy for his mom and dad to handle.
He was always happy, always smiling, always laughing. Seemed like every picture we took, he was just ecstatic and just as happy as he could be.
Does Jacob look up to his dad?
Yeah, absolutely. He wants to be like his dad. He wants to be the best at everything, and it doesn't matter what it is. He loves school. He loves learning new things. He's an overachiever.
Jacob needed every bit of that determination to survive. He arrived at Arnold Palmer Hospital in pretty bad shape.
It's such a high energy injury, and it's such a destructive thing that there's not much else that's worse than this.
Dr. Mark Birnbaum was the orthopedic surgeon who met Jacob on the way to the operating room. His job was to save Jacob's left arm and salvage what he could of his wrist and hand. He did.
He made such an amazing recovery.
Right next to Dr. Birnbaum in the OR was Dr. Ramon Ruiz, the only pediatric craniomaxillofacial surgeon in Central Florida. He went to work rebuilding Jacob's face.
I initially reconstructed the lower jaw and reconstructed portions of the forehead and skull, saving the parts of the skeleton that were there and stabilizing them with reconstructive bone plates.
Once that work was done, Jacob needed reconstructive plastic surgery.
We had to get creative because we had not seen an injury of this magnitude before.
Dr. Kenneth Lee had the delicate job of transplanting skin and tissue from other parts of Jacob's body to his face.
We needed to create cheeks and inside lining of the mouth and lips and in areas where he'd be able to speak and chew and eat and do everything normally.
How much do you cherish the sight of him running around, kicking a soccer ball out here?
Can't even explain it. I mean, there's nothing that I cherish more than being able to see my family together as 4 and not 3.
Handball!
Almost 4 years have gone by since the accident, in the same backyard. From a distance, Jacob looks like any other 8-year-old boy, running around playing soccer with his big sister Emma. It's when he plays video games
That's the end of you.
that Jacob stands out. He plays with his chin.
Yeah. That's the end of you.
How did you teach yourself to play a video game with your chin?
I just wanted to try it after my surgery, and I did it.
And he's really good. But he doesn't want to play with his chin forever. He hopes he can make what's left of his hand work for him.
You don't know how to do this, Emma.
What are some of the things when you go to therapy that they have you do?
They make me practice with my hands. Like, she makes it go like up and down, like as high as I can and as low as I can.
Can you show me that a little bit?
Mm-hmm. Velcro. Because they make me do like this, and like make it go up and then down, up and down.
All the way up and down.
Does therapy hurt at all, or is it, it's not uncomfortable or anything? Have you become kind of a pro at therapy?
Mm-hmm. I've seen them for a long time.
Jacob, that one was great.
And he's been in the operating room more times than he can count. Jacob recently had surgery on his forearm and wrist to improve his range of motion.
Is there ever a time when you don't want to go to the hospital?
Every time.
How come you're so brave and you go through with it?
Because I know it's not going to last long and I won't get hurt.
But it's not easy, and he's not done. Jacob will have many more surgeries as he grows.
The kid put up with a lot, and he soldiered through it. He is a warrior. That's what we tell him every day. You're an absolute warrior. You're the bravest child I've ever met in my entire life.
Sometimes a trauma like this could put a strain on a family or on a marriage. How did you guys work through it and not let that happen?
I'm not going to let it rip me apart. I'm not going to, because he's here, you know, he's with us. You focus on that as opposed to the negatives.
We're very honest with each other about how we feel. I don't hold anything back. If I have my moment where I feel like I'm mad at him because this is going on, then we have that moment, and then we get over it.
And is it hard not to think about what happened right here?
I think about it every day. There isn't a day that does not go by that I don't think about it. The guilt that I have drives me even harder to make sure that whatever he needs, he'll get.
And I believe Brad. Because the Roberts live here, they don't have to go anywhere else to get the care Jacob will need going forward. It's all available at Arnold Palmer and Ping. Orlando is now one of those rare cities that has all those specialists working together in the same hospital. It's made all the difference in the world for Jacob and his family.
And after everything he's been through, Jamie, if he can play video games with his chin, there's no stopping that kid. Now coming up, Arnold Palmer right here in the members lounge will join me. This is a Local 6 special event. Arnold Palmer, Orlando's first ambassador.